Travel time can also provide for meaningful learning. Students may be provided with route maps, and interesting landmarks can be identified by the teacher.
I would like to call your attention, boys and girls, to a true landmark of Roanoke, Virginia, the Fishburne House over on your left. It is truly a mansion.
When students get to their destination, they should be ready to learn more about the subject they have been studying. Safety should be considered at all times. The museum director or guide should give a general orientation about what is to be seen. Hearing impaired students are going on this trip with their interpreter. These children are being mainstreamed so as to have extended learning opportunities.
When you go through the museum, please be aware of that, okay? We are not only a railroad museum in a sense, but we have cars, we have antique trucks, we have some rocket equipment, and we have many, many different things that make transportation important. Now, Mr. Castleman here is going to be your guide. He is dressed in a uniform of the N&W Railroad. We like to have students ask questions if they have any when they go around. So feel free to do so, okay? Thank you very much.
Good morning. This is an authentic Norfolk and Western uniform. This is a uniform that was worn by a trainman. He would correspond to a brakeman on a freight train. The difference between the trainman and the conductor's uniform is in the buttons and in the cap and braids.
The guide will give detailed information about various items throughout the museum visit. Allow for enough time to see and hear about the materials on display.
This is a steam locomotive that was built in the early 1950s for the Nickel Plate Railroad. The engine has 69-inch driving wheels. Those are the large wheels with the silver rods on them. The engineer would sit here, and from this seat, he could operate the locomotive with his throttle. This was his brake stand, that he had a handle on here that he could control the braking on the train. On the opposite side, you had the fireman. He controlled the steam pressure, made sure there was enough steam to run the locomotive. The big black engine here was built in the 1930s for the Pennsylvania Railroad. It's powered by electricity. The pantograph on top would pick up the current, come down into the transformers. Okay, boys and girls, this is a diesel locomotive that was used on the Wabash Railroad, again operating in the Midwest. The diesel only provides power to run generators, which run electric traction motors. This is the cab of the diesel locomotive. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner than the cab of the steam engine. This is where the engineer operated the train. He had to have this little lever, which is known as the reverse bar. This Norfolk and Western locomotive was capable of operating at 70 miles an hour with a freight train or a heavy passenger train. These cars did not have mechanical refrigeration, so they had to be iced at various terminals by putting blocks of ice down through the top. Here we have a hand-pulled fire wagon that was used in the nickel plate yards at Calumet near Chicago. This is one of the largest model railroad exhibits in the country. It's been under construction for about 3.5 years, and I understand that it has about another 2 years to go before it's finally complete. The exhibit contains several miles of track.
Students should have freedom to learn on their own by having free time to look at exhibits. Learning on a study trip can be an enjoyable experience. In this case, a ride on a miniature train adds fun to the visit.
Castleman.
When it is time to regroup, check the roll to see that no one is left behind. Thank the guide and leave promptly.
For your hospitality.
Thank you all for coming.
Tell me about one interesting thing that you saw today.
Well, I like the train station because...
When you are back in the classroom, discuss what was seen on the trip.
Things that the train station had to show you.